happened. But yeah, that was working at the movie store. It was a shitty job that came with fringe benefits.
Philly D.
Yes, sir.
What do you have an irrational hatred for?
An irrational hatred for?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I mean, car stuff makes sense. Everyone gets that. I think
driving, like, I see.
Oh yeah. I mean, out here, like, the traffic's so horrible that it just it makes you hate everyone. Ooh, I don't know. Does anyone else have one? I'm trying to think.
An irrational hatred for one that would that be one that I can't rationally explain? Man,
that's why it's hard. I can't think of
I have many justified hatreds.
If you hate something, you usually have a justification for it, at least in your own head, you know.
I mean,
if you had an irrational hatred for possums, you'd run off road to kill one.
Did I do this topic once before? I have an irrational hatred for my own memory. I honestly
don't think any of us had one. I think you brought this up and no one had one, and we just kept moving.
Okay.
Second time's the charm.
I mean, the Jews. Well, that's not irrational, though. I've got my whole manifesto to spell that out.
I hate people that work at mall kiosks a lot.
Oh, there you go. That's not irrational, though. They're annoying, leeches.
Have you ever, oh, God forbid, you ever go to one of those that sells those bootleg, fucking Bangladeshi phone cases, and you go over there and you're like, oh, this is neat, and you show it to the person you're with, and then, some, slick salesman sneaks around the corner, is like, oh, you like that one? That's the T42 Samsung case. And then you have to sit there and pretend to give a fuck as this 17-year-old tells you about all the other cases they have available, as if you're going to just buy a potpourri of cases for your one phone. I hate that. I hate the people who work at those. There's no point to it. There's no point. I know the store that I want to go to in the fucking mall. If I want to go to the Finish Line and get some shoes, I will. If I want to go to the Japanese place in the food court, I will. If I want to go to Nordstrom and get clothes, I will. No one has ever been like, you know what I need is I need a relaxing, weird little koi pond sold by some foreigner in the middle of the food court, but not quite in the food court.
Foreigner?
Have you ever seen?
Where did that come from?
Oh, just bigotry.
They are.
You ever get a hot dog from a foreigner?
Whoa. Nothing.
Have you ever seen the mall kiosk where they're doing the eyebrow plucking with those two strings? It's some sort of like Indian or Arabic technique where they're like using these two strings to like pinch the hairs and rip them out.
Like with a noose, kind of? Like they just kind of...
What mall do you have that's a kiosk?
Like the Mall of Georgia. Like the biggest mall in Georgia.
Is that the one where those taser videos are filmed? You better back up! You better back up!
That is not
it's
the mall
from the cross-shaped fire starter.
That's like all of Atlanta or something. That's some ghetto shit. That's
way off.
Oh wait, so Murk, what makes you not able to be like, sorry, I'm just gonna leave you standing here since you have to be here and I don't?
I don't know.
just be okay with someone thinking you're a dick. That's
I feel like you're rude to foreigners, Phil.
Say what?
I feel like you're being rude to foreigners.
I'm rude to everybody.
The only thing, I never just I can't just turn around and walk away because I feel like that's so guilty. And I know it's worse than just turning around and walking away instead of just wasting my time and theirs. But I'll take 2 steps back, and then of course they close the gap and they try and talk to you. One of them I got trapped in once. Those massage chairs they sometimes have in the middle of malls? They had a whole assortment of massage chairs, and then those goofy cutout massage things where you could lay there, and then some a representative from a Korean parlor across town would be there to rub your back or something. And they had this giant white isolation tank that you could get in. They had swimsuits you could buy. And you'd go into this changing room and then walk out of the changing room across the wall like a literal senile idiot in your swimsuit over to the isolation tank, and then you get in and you close it, and you're basically in a pod of tepid water.
Is the tank?
It can't be that clean. It's in the mall. And
I've seen those. We have those too.
I had to pretend all I did was look at it. I didn't deserve this. I'm a victim here. I just looked over and I'm like, isn't that neat? And I read the side of it where it's being in an isolation tank does all sorts of things. It makes you healthier. It makes us $15 every 10 minutes. It's wonderfully great.
It's a
and
sensory
so then this lady
deprivation
started coming over, and she asked me like if I had soreness or if I had problems or anything. And I was playing hockey at the time, so I'm like, yeah, like I got a sore groin. And she's like, this is perfect for that. And I was like, oh,
what luck?
That's great. What, by what happenstance I've stumbled upon the cure. And so I just had to slowly like back up until eventually I was out of the periphery, which is so much more uncomfortable than just turning 180 degrees and walking away. But yeah, that's my irrational hatred. I don't like mall kiosk people.
That doesn't sound irrational at all. Seems very rational to hate those dirty foreigner eyebrow threading sensory deprivation tank having motherfuckers. By the way, I linked you guys to a video of mall kiosk eyebrow threading if you want to care to take a look. I've seen that being done at the mall and also those sensory deprivation chambers. I've seen the big vibrating chairs. I'm trying to think what else. Obviously the cell phone shitty things. I hate those guys. They're like homeless people, but that's what they're like homeless people a little bit. They're like panhandlers. But if God forbid you make eye contact with them, because then they latch on.
I feel like in a situation,
I feel like you guys are making yourselves victims in a life where you don't have to be.
Not me. I was gonna say, Taylor, if I was in that situation, I would tell them what I was
in this scenario.
thinking.
Yes,
they would try to sell me a phone case, and I would say something like, "My interest in phone cases is not nearly as high as you think it is," and leave.
Well, that's a little kind of a smart ass remark.
Well,